Now it's time for the intro. Come on, do you take your own advice? All righty, we're gonna let Brother Carter do like he do.
Look, I ain't gotta do nothing. These folks do not need an introduction.
But baby, bring them on up. Bring them up to the stage, baby. Come on, bring them up to the stage. These people, they don't know you. What you say? You have hundreds and thousands of people. They knew.
Yeah, hundreds and thousands. Of
Okay,
viewers,
Brother Carter, we need you to get. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. You be excited about your show. Come on.
Tiffany Washington.
Oh, that is so rad.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Tiffany Washington. I am from Little Rock, Arkansas, currently residing in Conway. I am a director of revenue cycle management.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. But I think you're something else. Aren't you a mother?
Oh,
You
yes,
are
I am a mother.
She's a father.
Yeah, and a father. She's a father.
Why you have to put me out there like that?
Golly. She's an all-around young lady that does not tear other people down.
Absolutely.
She lifts them up. You know, one of the things about Tiffany Washington, why she's so special and dear to me, is that she has evolved. She's really a God-fearing woman, but she's allowing. She's taking her shine. She's stepping up to the stage these days. I'm so proud of you.
Nice.
Well,
Valerie been working on me, y'all.
now the Lord is working on. He's just using me. All righty.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And so coming up next is Ricky Getwood Jr. over there. Ricky Getwood.
He ain't just anybody.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself there, Ricky.
Absolutely. My name is Ricky Getwood. I'm a health and wellness specialist. I specialize in life coaching, mindset, body transformation, anything to do with positivity and uplifting the mind and the body. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. And if you turn on your social media, you'll see Ricky all day, every day on. He doing a lot of things.
Everything you see is exactly what I do.
Yeah, he do a lot more than what he just said. So,
well, I'm gonna say this here, and he is my cousin.
Oh, wow,
You know, that's
for real?
my family. You know, I have to say this. You know, when you have family that supports you, that come out this early on a Saturday morning, that take time out of their schedule. And I know that we have family out there that listen, but he got up, got dressed. He was intentional about being here supporting us. And for that, I love you.
I love you too. I actually took a shower this morning too.
What the Thank you.
I see you playing the drums.
Yeah.
Do you play other instruments as well? Or?
I play a little bit of everything, but drums is my main thing because that's what I'm the most comfortable playing because I can do a little bit of everything. But yeah.
Do you sing as well? Or?
I do everything, but drums I'm more comfortable with that.
Okay.
You know, like everybody got something they can do a little good. I do everything a little good.
Yeah, you're jack of all trades, but you're master that drum thing.
So when they hear me hit one note, they say you can sing. I'm like, no. I got one song.
What song? I stay in my lane.
If I stay in my lane, I'm good at that.
Okay, good.
Well, all righty. It's time for that acronym, and we should have this conversation. Do you take your own advice?
So, as you guys know, the acronym is here to kind of set the tone for the conversation, give us something to go off of. So today's conversation is, do you take your own advice? And the word of the day is cavalier.
Cavalier.
I got an SAT word for you guys.
Come on now.
C is for conflicting, incompatible, or at variance, contradictory. A is for astute, showing keen perception and sharp intelligence. V is virtuous, having high moral standard and demonstrating ethical behavior. A is for altruistic, selflessly concerned for the well-being of others. L is for liable, being accountable or responsible for something. I is for idealistic, unrealistically aiming for perfection. E is for educated, well-informed and knowledgeable through study or experience. R is for reluctant, unwilling or hesitant to do something, often displaying resistance or reluctance.
Ooh.
She be coming with them words.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
She
Come on
does.
now. Come
I'm
on.
gonna go Google
A
everything you said.
All right, yeah. Are y'all ready for this conversation?
That's good.
Because I'm just to throw something now. We're getting ready to get this conversation going.
We need some dark music going. Like,
I normally would say when you heard the topic, what did you think? But if I know these two, they didn't even look at the topic. They just said, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So they probably heard it when they told them, when they booked, but they didn't. It went in one ear and out the rest. It don't matter. So I'm going to ask you, as someone who people turn to for guidance, who are you able to turn to? And I'm going to throw that at my husband.
Just was telling you and cut the crap today that I'm a guy that's always trying to encourage and uplift others outside of myself. And this week was kind of tough on me, and I was struggling trying to just encourage myself, and not even thinking I should encourage myself. Just kind of stayed in the slump for a couple of days, just like I couldn't move. I didn't want to get up, didn't want to do nothing. I just want to lay here, And there's something wrong with that.
Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that.
Yeah, something wrong with that. You're not that tired. So I'm saying something going on with me. And so by Wednesday, I started, telling myself different things. As long as you're feeling okay with yourself, you're all right. You're strong. You're looking good. You start telling myself different things. And when she asked me Wednesday, I said, I'm doing a lot better today. Because I started reflecting on empowering myself versus staying in a.
Because sometimes it's all in our head. Because sometimes we can get so caught up in just that thought, and that thought will allow it to manifest so much so, and it's not even really what's going on. It could be, well, we had a great weekend. We had a real good weekend, and so it was our anniversary weekend, and he just needed to sleep. But then what the enemy would do,
in turn would do is turn that tiredness into something
else. Something else going on. No, brother, you just had a good weekend with your wife.
All right.
I'm just saying. And I'm gonna turn this over to Ricky.
Yeah.
Same question for you.
Let me.
I don't know if I answered your question or not.
What you're saying is that you had to encourage yourself. You had to take. Okay.
All right.
Let me give you this right quick, because even as a health and wellness professional, I learned to understand the difference between being tired and being depressed. It's two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like two different things. So everybody, this society is pushing, I'm depressed. Like, no, you're malnutrition and you're tired.
That's it.
Right.
Go to sleep.
Period.
That's it. You know what I mean? So it's not that, I'm not feeling like myself. Actually, the problem is you're not feeling yourself.
Right.
Completely different. Like you actually feel yourself. I'm like, no, my body's just tired.
Right.
I'm not eating enough. I'm not, I'm not properly hydrated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most people just dehydrated.
Right.
Especially if you, eat bad and drinking alcohol, whatever, like your body's dehydrated.
But wait a minute now. Wait.
No, he making sense.
You over here doing too much.
Exactly.
I don't understand when you say what does that mean? You're drinking too much. What is too much?
That makes sense, though. That makes sense.
Yeah, but there's a certain limit, and I'm not trying to get to a full nutrition talk, but there's a certain limit of
what
alcohol
is that limit
that your body can take if you don't counterbalance that with proper hydration. You know what I mean? Your proper hydration is H3O, not just H2O. So people are like, I'm drinking water. I'm like, actually, water just flushes stuff out of your system. It technically doesn't hydrate your body. So if you drink a lot of alcohol, you need to replenish that with H3O, which comes from your fruits. You know what I'm saying? And coconut water, different things like that. So again, most people are like, I'm dehydrated.
Yeah.
You're not
sluggish.
You're just sluggish. So go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like just go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I think accepting the fact that it's okay to be tired is something that we haven't been programmed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we think sleep is bad. Like no, actually, you need to go to sleep. You need to heal and recover.
Well, that's exactly what I'm gonna do when I leave here.
Exactly.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, as far as my part of it, I have been very intentional with picking and choosing my company on purpose.
Oh,
like
I'm with you on that.
to the T. Like everybody in my circle is either into fitness hardcore, or they into making money hardcore, or they into personal development hardcore, or a little bit of all three. You know what I'm saying? And
so I'm your cousin. I can't be in your circle.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
If I'm here, that means you're in the circle.
Okay, I know.
It's because it's those people that they know you enough to be like, bro, you ain't nothing wrong with you. You're just tired.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean? And I can call up on you. I've had a couple of conversations with her. I'm like, man, hey, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like that. And she will call you out. She'll be like, I'm mad at you for not doing this. But like, I had this going on. Right? But at the same time, it's like, no, she'll hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? So I have people in my circle that know me enough to be like, Ricky, shut this shit up.
Yeah. And that's important to have.
Real.
People don't understand that, they were like, well, that's not my business. Well, I don't want nobody in my circle that's not going to be honest with me,
Right?
And that's not going to call me out and hold me accountable.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're going to allow me
to fail.
Right.
And so don't say you care about me if you can't call me.
See, those are people that I stay away from. Like, hey, when they see you messing up, they just say, oh,
yeah,
okay,
you're dangerous.
Like you want me to fail,
right?
Because your detriment is your, excitement,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not doing that.
And you have to be careful about letting people know how you feel, because they'll put you in the grave before it's time to go to the grave.
Right.
For
real.
Look, I practice this, say only quality people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Only quality people, because I can't share all of my personal information with you, because I know you don't have my best intentions. So I'll just shut up. And just sit back and like, I know you ain't got I'll be quiet. But certain people, I give it to you because I know you'll give it back to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you want me to be better.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something that happened a couple of years ago, where I had shared someone that I thought was really cool. I'd shared my feelings about where I thought they were. I can see that they were, and they got offended with it. And then I had to have that conversation. So you want me to just see you walk over this cliff, see you hurting, and then for me to act like I don't see it?
Right.
That's a dangerous place to be in, and to even I don't want to have someone like that in your life. That's just not.
You have to stay away from those people that constantly say yes. Like have people that need yes men around them to agree with everything they say. Like you can't be real friends with those people. Like you say, you'll watch a person walk off a cliff because they don't want to hear something the opposite of what they're doing. But that's not being a friend.
That's not being a friend.
Even if they're not receptive to hearing,
you still better tell them the truth.
I'm gonna ask you, since we're along those lines. You're one of the people that like to pour into people, and you can tell them about what you think they need to do. But do you take your own advice?
You know what? I'm gonna say in certain situations, yes, but I don't feel like I take my own advice as much as I should. And because a lot of times before I make a wrong decision, I've already had a discussion with myself, and I'm like, Tiffany, but you already knew what to do, so why did you do that? And I will admit that me not taking my own advice has definitely led me down some roads, because when you have that conversation with yourself or your intuition, it tells you immediately before you even do something, before you go down a road, before you talk to someone. There's a lot of different avenues you can go with that.
Right.
But you be knowing before you do the wrong thing. You know it. And you like, man, now had I took my own advice, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Come on now. All right, Brother Carla.
Well, but it just come from most encouragers have a problem with doing that for themselves. If you speak to like preachers and and all these people that like to just openly encourage everyone else,
They like to stand on their pedestal.
I don't want to call it a pedestal, but I just find that it's just easier first. I'm just being honest. It's just easier to just help someone else. When you know you have issues within yourself that you can fix, and you ignore those signs, but it's easier to see it in someone else.
But are we really helping someone else? And again, I'm talking to myself here. Are we really helping someone else? Because really, sometimes the only example a person have is the example they see. So are we really helping someone else when we're just telling them what to do, but we're not exercising and doing it ourselves? So
what you're saying is doing a disservice, huh?
A complete disservice, because just because you're on the pulpit or you're on your pulpit or you're on, and your pulpit doesn't necessarily have to be a pulpit. You're just a self-righteous person that's always got it right.
No, I think it's much deeper than that. It's just like, okay, say you're a beautician, you do hair. You can do other people's hair, but your hair look jacked up every time somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
real
saying?
life.
But your hair jacked up
But
every
you want me
time.
to
But
sit in
you,
your chair.
but you can fix your hair. They can fix my hair, but they you don't want to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I'm talking about being an encourager, and whatever you do in life. I think we need to take our own advice and let that shine. It's like you give people fitness advice,
right?
But you do it yourself too.
I look like a doughboy. Ain't finna come to me.
Right.
I did want to add one more thing, just really quick, because when you just said it's like the beautician, they can do everybody else's hair, but they can't do theirs. Like it's kind of in the way of because they're too tired, right? A lot of times because they've spent so much time helping others, they're too tired to help themselves.
Come on,
and it can be the same way with like giving people advice or pouring into them. You have to be very careful of energy drainers too. While you constantly pouring, make sure you don't pour so much that you become empty and everybody else is giving you hugs. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you've done for me today. And then you and your bed looking crazy.
What about me, huh?
Lord, I don't even got nothing for myself.
They don't even see you because they're so used to you giving. They don't even know that you're in need to be given back to too.
Right.
Okay, Abigail. Abigail is over here like, I'm gonna stand up if y'all go. You acting like y'all don't see me over here. Come on.
Yes. So I kind of like what Brother Carter said or I agree, I should say, because I do think it's easier to look at someone else and because it's not your life, you don't play a role in it. You know, how many times have you been watching a movie and you're like, well, or a reality show or something, you're like, well, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. But when then you're in the situation that's similar, like then you're like, man, maybe I would do that. You know what I mean? And so I think it is easier to look at another person's life where it doesn't affect you as much and to say, oh, well, this is textbook what should happen. But I do think it is a disservice because and I think also people seek advice from people who you want to be more like. You know what I'm saying? If you're seeking advice, like Ricky said, for fitness, if I want to get fit, I'm going to go to somebody who's fit.
Right.
I'm not going to go to or if I want to get my hair done, I'm not going to go to somebody who looks crazy.
That don't ever fix their hair.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think it kind of is a responsibility on both sides. As the person giving advice, make sure you're practicing what you preach. But when you need someone to pour into you or you need some advice or something, also seek it from somebody you think could actually give you sound advice.
Oh,
Exactly.
Hey, there's a couple of comments on here from Stephanie and Lanita, if we could, on YouTube, if we can go ahead and read those.
Yeah, so Stephanie said, that's true. Too much pouring out and not enough being poured in.
100.
And then Lanita said, take time to invest in ourselves so we can do that for others. Be filled so you can pour and still have enough in your cup.
That's so important. You know, it's just, you got to invest in yourself. If you don't start investing in yourself, then really what you're pouring back into someone else is empty.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just words.
Yeah, I think everybody get exhausted at some point throughout their journey, throughout life. You know, you're gonna get exhausted whatever you're doing in life.
Yeah, and that's something I learned is as a professional, what I do. But anybody who's good at what they do, right? You're good at it, and people come to you for that particular thing and advice, right? And you're so good at it that you don't necessarily have to continue to pour into yourself over and over and over because you have so much of it. Right? Like I got a wealth of knowledge of everything I do, but at the same time, you have to know your limit. I know my cutoff. It's like, oh, okay,
Right.
okay. Let me stop this right here and give enough to myself so I have more than enough, like you said, to pour into people. You know what I'm saying? That's why even now I'm going into a whole nother level of like bodybuilding. It's like, okay, I want to get to that big pro level of bodybuilding so I can help everybody else underneath me. You know what I mean? So I always tell people, like, judge yourself, right? What do you rate yourself at what you do as far as giving everything else? If you say 1 to 10, okay, bet I'm about a 7 or 8. So that means you can only help people from 1 to 6. Okay, that's how you really
literally.
You figure
I
out
like that,
your limits, right? So, but if you're like, I'm about a 5, well, don't try to help nobody at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're gonna drain you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way to kind of figure out how much you can give. It's like, well, I'm pretty good at what I do. I got about 8. When I get to 8, cutting everybody out.
Yeah.
You know
But see,
what I mean?
one thing you have that separate you from a lot of people, Ricky, you have one of the main ingredients of life, and I say it's called discipline. And so many of us don't have the self-discipline to do. See, you make your mind up and you about doing something, and you're dedicated and disciplined to do. That's what you need to do. And so that's a whole nother show.
But I like that because that really is true. You have to have some discipline. You have to, but also the discipline comes from being able to take in and take your own sound advice.
That's the thing too. Like, I always say like this: knowing is not doing.
Right.
Knowing is not doing. Okay, and doing what you know is what makes knowing applicable. So you can say I know, but you're not doing.
You're not doing.
Okay, so doing what you know is what makes knowing applicable. It makes it make more sense. You know, all day, every day. So people like I know. I'm like but you're not doing.
You're not
right.
doing.
Okay.
So do you really know?
So you know, but you're not doing. So I even judge myself. Even I had a hard time with this topic as well too, because I started looking at things in percentages now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in sports is percentages. Okay, he shoots this much. He shoots, he that many balls, so on and so forth. Right. But there's also failure in the percentage.
Oh, right.
Wow. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So a person is only great because they have a higher percentage of missing less than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So in every topic, every situation is like, okay, in the area of giving to my kids, how much?
It's rare to see the 100%.
You're never going to see 100%. And that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to really see 100%. You may get to like 75, 80%. So in every situation, I started judging myself. It's like, well, shoot, like, am I taking my own advice 100%? It's like, no. I'm gonna give myself about a good 85, 90. That's the truth. The other 10% is what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, let me go.
No, that's real good. I'm gonna ask another question. Do you guys ever get the imposter syndrome?
God, yes.
Okay, let's talk about it. Since you said yes.
Sorry.
Let's talk about that.
Can you break it down? I'm trying to just make sure what the imposter syndrome is.
Imposter syndrome is sometimes putting out something to make it look a certain way when in fact it's not really what you're feeling or what you're trying to project something that is not. So you're coming in here like this morning, Brother Carter said.
You're trying to be something that you're
like
not.
Brother Carter said this morning when we got started. I'm tired. You know, he didn't say tired, but basically he had to get it together. He had to go get his Bible. He had to go. I
was discombobulated.
Yeah. he had that imposter syndrome going on. So
that was imposter.
Yeah, you came in here like you was ready to go when you knew you wasn't ready.
Okay.
Yeah, you came in here like, let's go. You weren't ready.
You weren't really feeling it.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't feeling it yet.
And it was okay. Eventually you came out, it was like,
Let's say fake it till you make it syndrome.
I mean, in psychology, they kind of call it hyperbole, right? Some person who's always like super happy all the time. Like, I'm more worried about that person. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm going to ask us to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We got something going on with YouTube and we got to figure this out because there's a huge delay. I apologize to my YouTubers and we'll be right back in. All right, guys. Okay, y'all. They already done cut me up in the studio. I gotta confess this. I'm gonna fall on my own knife this morning. So I thought I'm looking at the screen over here, and I'm looking at YouTube, and I'm like, we got a problem because it was delayed. I'm like,
problem in Houston.
Why are they still on Cut the Crap on YouTube? They are not gonna have Facebook on schedule and YouTube slow. Well, that's why it's good to have a good coordinator. She comes over and she's talking about, I know exactly what's going on. And she just slid it on down. For some reason, I hit the button and I had
Put
delay.
yourself on.
What did I do? What caused me to be on delay? Not them.
Yeah, you may have paused it and at some point, and so then you were behind in the stream.
Well, I just want, but y'all see how much I love y'all. Y'all was not gonna miss none of this.
Yes, I'm saying she on top of it.
Okay.
She's like, wait a minute.
We're not gonna do that. All right. Well, thank y'all for being patient. We're gonna give y'all a couple of shout outs and we're gonna jump right back into. Oh, lots of love. They love us. Okay. We're gonna give y'all some shout outs and we're gonna get right back into this conversation.
Yes, we have a few things to shout out. We have a lot of exciting things going on right now. As you guys know, Miss Carter, Valerie, is in the Fab Over 40 competition. She has now made it past the first 2 rounds.
Yes.
So we're in the 3rd round. I don't remember how many there are, but there's a lot. And so we're going to get through all the rounds. And so it's really important that you guys vote for her every single day. You get
it's free.
It's 1 free vote a day. And if you do donate, sometimes they'll do every few days, they'll do like whatever you donate is actually double the votes. So, and all those donations go toward breast cancer research.
Yes.
100% of that goes to that. So, every day on our Instagram, I'll post a link to it. So it's really easy for you. All you have to do is press that link and it'll take you right to the voting page. You verify by Facebook and you can do that every 24 hours.
Oh, every 20. So come on, guys. Let me tell y'all. I was nervous in the beginning, but I'm having so much fun with this. Yeah. So vote. I believe in myself. Can y'all believe in me too? I guess y'all do.
Absolutely.
Because, hey, we're doing it.
We're going to play a quick video that tells y'all a little bit more about Fab Over 40 and what that competition looks like. And then we'll come back with more shout outs.
Okay.
If you know anything about Valerie, then you know she doesn't like to sit still for very long. So when an opportunity presented itself, she went for it. Valerie is now entered in New Beauty Magazine's Fab Over 40 competition. The winner will receive a glamorous 2-page spread in New Beauty Magazine, $40,000, and a dream spa vacation. Voting begins on October 9th, so help us win. No one is more fun, fierce, or fabulous than Valerie, so be sure to vote for her.
Come on. I got this with y'all help. I know I can't do it unless I have y'all help. So come on, support me.
And the next shout out we have is we already told y'all a little bit about our toy drive. So just a quick kind of recap on that. L&V Enterprises, which is a nonprofit that we work with, is hosting a Christmas toy drive. So bring your brand new toys over to 616 FM 1960 West, Suite 101. You have until December, 13th, to donate. And if you can't donate, you can always, if you can't donate a toy, we're going to take our monetary donations and go buy more presents for the kids. So you can always donate at lverinc.com. And
this is what I'm excited about.
This is another really exciting thing. So we actually have a bowling event coming up.
Yes.
So we are hosting a bowling event. Anna, do you want to tell them a little bit more about that?
Yes, we're hosting a bowling event.
We're
doing bowling and brunch on December 3rd, a Sunday. But bowling and brunch Sunday, December 3rd. Come and have some fun. All monetary donations will go actually towards our toy drive. So please come on down and come have some fun with us.
Okay. So let me just tell you guys, I'm going to tell you some of the things that's going to happen that day. There is going to be, and you can actually go and do the Eventbrite link that's going to come up.
We also have an event on our Facebook page, on the LV the L&V Facebook page. Yes,
we're gonna have some food there. You're going to your shoes, the bowling, all of that is going to be included in this little package that we have going on. We're not asking for a lot. Remember, we're doing this for the kids, and so while doing this for the kids, we're gonna have fun too. So come on out and support.
And then we have a couple more quick shout outs. So, our friend Anna on the show, she's going to have her own radio show on LV with Val Radio.
Yes, there she goes. Anna.
And tell us when it's launching, Anna. Tell her what the show is going to be about.
So it's launching November 7th. I'm very excited. The show is going to be about my empowering thoughts or advice for the day. It'll be a lot of fun. Come and hear me out. I know Ms. Carter is excited, and I know sometimes I can come in here and say, I'm already having a happy morning, and they're like, oh, I'm not ready.
Can I tell you something about Anna? Anna was actually, she is now an employee, but she was actually one of the guests on the show. And I've had some great guests. God has blessed me with some wonderful people that have come on the show. What I enjoyed most about her, she was so hyped to come on this show. I'd never seen anyone promote her guest spot on the show the way she did, and just so positive. She's always trying to pour into others. So one of the reasons why I said, hey, she was already doing it on YouTube and Facebook. I said, hey, girl, come on over here and do it on the radio, because she's definitely a positive person, and we need more love and positive going out there. So I'm excited about this.
That's right.
Welcome. Yes, welcome. Check her out.
And then along the lines of radio shows, we actually have a couple more radio shows. You guys are listening right now to the Love and Victory Show with Val every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. But we've actually started some other radio shows. So our next big one is Tasteful and Toxic. That's every Wednesday at 8 a.m. We also post it on YouTube, but if you want to hear it uncensored, you got to tune in live on the LV with Val app or lvwithval.com, Wednesdays at 8 a.m. And this one, it gets a little crazy, huh?
Oh, it's good. If y'all love Brother Carter, this is Brother Carter's show here. You know, I'm his co-host on there, but Brother Carter just keeps it so real. What I love about him is that
100.
He keeps, what you do, 100.
I want to come on that show.
Yeah, don't be surprised. You might just be on. Yes, it's a great show. It is uncensored. It really is what you need. Yeah. I think it's a dose of what all of us need. That's the uncensored, uncut, true, raw of life. I love it.
That's right. And then the last radio show that we have is VK Career Conversations.
Oh, that thing is blowing up.
That is going really, really well. It's a show that Miss Carter has with a couple hosts, Dave Smith and Dr. Marianne Pinkston. They talk all things professionalism, career, all those kinds of things. And that is on the first and third Monday of the month at 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah. That thing there. That thing has taken legs of its own. I mean, I had no idea. That thing is taking legs. Check it out.
Amen. All
righty then. Now we're gonna get this conversation right back on track. You know, see how they just cut it in between and okay. But I'm gonna come back to this here.
But back to your radio show.
Okay, brother.
You got a lot of big things going on with your radio show. So, you know, congratulations to all that you're doing, that you're doing for the people that you're helping throughout this journey. It's a blessing.
Thank you, baby. Oh, wow.
Y'all need to hug right
now. Oh, my baby. He got my back there. And it makes a big difference. A lot of times you can just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I take a lot of time away from us. But you're so unselfish that you allow me to pour into others. And so in doing what I know my path is, I appreciate it because it puts me back in the right spirit to be with us.
Okay.
So thank you. Thank you.
God,
That's
God
amazing.
Bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. But I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna come back over here again, and I'm gonna ask this question.
Do you take your own advice?
No, I'm coming back to the imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah.
I really want us to talk about that because so often we walk around so many people walk around in this place of who we think we need to be for others, but it's not really who we are and how we're feeling. And so I want to look at, and I keep picking on you, Tiffany, but I'm not picking on you. I'm pulling from you.
Yeah,
because I know you have something to say on that because you've evolved so much. And so if you don't mind.
I'll say, I think it kind of goes back for me a little into the whole people pleasing thing, like pretending like everything is okay, pretending like nothing is wrong with you because you care more about others than you even care about yourself. And that's so dangerous because you can be really ready to end it and nobody will even know.
They won't see it.
They won't see it. They won't know. You can be sick and they won't know. I'm going to use this for example. My sister is listening too. So, you know, I was telling I was just telling you how I have food allergies, right? So she was eating peanuts in the car. And I haven't been close to anyone eating peanuts in a while, right? So she's eating M&Ms, and I'm sitting over there struggling. Like, I let the window down, and I'm in my head like trying to calm myself down, like, Tiffany, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. But inside I'm like panicking. And my sister, I was like, hey, I don't think I can be around those. So after,
but you knew you couldn't.
Well, see, I hadn't been around anybody like that close to me eating them, right? But here's the point to it. So at the very end, I finally let my sister know. I was like, ooh, a girl, I said I was not feeling good at all. And she was like, you sitting over there driving and you didn't even tell me? You sitting over there acting like everything is okay. That right there is imposter syndrome. Sitting around pretending like everything is all right. You over there dying.
And a lot of times we do that because we don't want to make other people uncomfortable.
That's exactly what it
and
was.
it has to stop.
I didn't want to scare anybody else. So I'm like, I'm just going to act like everything.
So you
all
gonna crash everybody in the car because you driving. And you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You over here, anything can happen. You're
right.
Anything can happen.
Right.
I see Coach Bree out there. Coach Bree, if you don't mind, can you give us some feedback on imposter syndrome? Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Ricky, when we were talking about imposter, what comes to your mind on that? Or have you ever been that person?
God, yes.
Having examples.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of examples. First thing I like to say is this: you qualify yourself for the thing that you want, and then you won't feel like an imposter.
Ooh.
Okay.
Break that down.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So if you're doing the thing that you're doing well, then you are qualified to receive everything that you're getting from the thing that you're doing.
Oh, nah. Come on.
So you should never feel like an imposter if you're actually doing that particular thing, right? That more importantly, accepting yourself, the good and the bad things about yourself, and communicating that to people around you so that you can feel better about yourself. Then you're not going to ever feel like an imposter. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So if I can automatically get to the point to where I tell you, hey, look, I don't really feel good about this particular thing. I'm not lying to myself. So now I'm not lying to you.
Right.
So I'm being 100% with myself, 100% with you. So now I'm qualified to be better at the person that I'm trying to be.
And it's nothing wrong with
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, society have us believing that when we're choosing ourselves, we're being selfish, or I'm looking out for myself. No,
man. No. I think like
that could be detrimental to your life.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Like, so you're denying the actual person that you are. So you will never be able to evolve.
Right.
You can't evolve if you constantly denying yourself and depressing yourself over and over and over. And this is where you develop those depressing habits, because you keep doing it over and over and over. And now you're saying I'm depressed. Well, shit, you've been depressing yourself for years. You should be depressed. So now you feel like an imposter. Here's the real kicker right here. You only feel like an imposter when you're trying to break out of that shell. Because you're not used to being out of that shell. So now it's like, let me tell you about who I really am. It's like, wait. If I tell you who I really am, you ain't gonna like this person because you've been seeing this fake person for all this time. You know what I'm saying? You've been holding this person back for so long that now that when you come out with this person, you feel like I'm being fake. That's actually who you really was the whole time, but you just been holding back all that time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Are you the same person behind closed doors?
Nope.
See, I'm a piggyback on both what both of you was just saying there, because when I'm hearing you talk, I'm thinking about a person that have trouble with conflict in their lives. They don't particularly like to confrontation.
Yeah.
And so that when you're not confrontational, you tend to, like Tiffany was saying,
avoid.
Ride in the car with peanuts, knowing that you're allergic and not saying nothing about it. You know,
call you Peanut Girl.
Being in a office setting, and then someone is sick at work and coughing all over the place and not saying anything to them. You know, that's because you don't want the conflict. You don't want the back and forth.
The biggest problem is that people have a problem communicating. Once you learn how to communicate, there's no conflict. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're just talking.
And I think a lot of times, I'm glad you said that, because people a lot of times we like to say, oh, I don't like conflict, or I'm a person that prefer not to have this discord.
Yeah, because like you said, you don't know how to communicate what you really feeling without
being
yeah.
But I think
Yes,
I
for
think
real.
I think it starts from just opening up your mouth.
Mhm.
It may come off wrong the first couple of times, but eventually it's like anything that you do.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
You're training
it gets
yourself.
better.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can't allow that thing of I don't like conflict to keep you from dealing with things that are making you uncomfortable
Mhm.
or unhappy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'd like to speak on where I think that kind of comes from, because it's funny that we're talking about that, because I literally just taled to my therapist yesterday about that.
Mhm.
And we were talking
You're such a jolly person. Too.
I know, it's because I go to
She had about
therapy.
And we believe in that over here.
Yeah.
That's right. And she was telling me, because we were talking about like me addressing conflict. She goes, well, I know you don't like conflict, but maybe you need to have this conversation with this person.
Mhm.
And we kind of broke it down, and I realized it came from a place of not wanting to make people feel guilty
There you go. Or
Yes.
bad.
or bad.
Mhm.
Yes. And it came from, I had, situations, adults in my life when I was a child who
Mhm.
disappointed me,
Mm.
but I didn't want to disappoint
Disappoint them.
them
Mhm.
by showing them that they disappointed me. I
Oh
almost
my God.
sacrifice my own well-being so that I don't bring other people down.
Wow.
Yes.
Ooh,
So
come
I
on
just want
now.
to say where I think sometimes that may come from.
Come
That's
on,
something I'm figuring
counselor.
out.
That's exactly where it
Come
comes
on,
from.
that
Yes.
is amazing.
So percentages.
Yeah.
How many percentage of people you think have that same view?
Man, look. Okay, honestly, if you really just look at how people respond day in and day out,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? I mean, we are creatures of habit, right? And
Right.
fortunately, I've been blessed with this amazing but sometimes annoying gift of paying attention to people's habits, right?
Mhm.
So it's how frequently you do that same thing over and over and over.
Mhm.
The average person can never communicate how they actually feel on a calm, consistent basis.
Mhm.
It has to be like to the point where they're about to explode.
Right.
And they just go off on
Right.
you know what I mean? So that's why, you ever sit in the room, try to have a conversation with somebody, you have that awkward silence or that
Right.
awkward feeling, or you can't really say the thing that you want to say because you don't know how to communicate
Right,
it, because you don't know how they're going to
You don't know
respond.
how they gonna react.
Exactly.
Right,
So
right.
what we do, we keep suppressing that over and over and over and over and over and over. So majority of the people do that. This is why you have these 1%ers or 5% of people in the world who actually are successful at things, and most successful people, for lack of a better term, they don't give a shit.
All right.
They don't care about people's feelings. They don't
Right.
care about what how it comes out. They just
Right,
say it, and they're so used to doing it over and over and over. So
Right,
this is
right.
why they're successful
Right.
at that particular thing.
Uh-huh.
So the average person,
Become a natural act.
it just comes
So,
natural.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm more. I mean, at this point, I don't care what people think. I just say what I think. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna tell y'all though, like even back to the situation with the peanuts, like with me and my sister, it was for me a lot of the time when I hide how I feel, I guess,
Mhm.
is because I'm used to dealing with things by myself.
Mhm.
And so sometimes it's simple as you just needing to feel free to let others in instead of feeling like you gotta hold everything within and
Mhm,
handle it, whether it's no matter how you feel. And sometimes I feel like our fear keep us from communicating. And then once we do, the person that we was afraid of communicating with,
Mhm.
it's like they look how they took it. They responded well. Like the war is in your mind. It's
Right.
your fear of
Right.
communicating is actually way 10 times worse than the actual act of communicating.
Wow.
And you know what else is like? The best way to learn how to communicate to a particular person is seeing what they're capable of. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I like to look at everybody like this. Like I'll never ask an elephant to climb a tree.
Right.
You just
Nah,
don't.
I get it.
You don't ask an elephant to climb a tree. What they go do? They're gonna knock that shit over, right?
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But if
Right.
you got a monkey,
Yeah.
you teach a monkey to climb a tree. It's like, okay, you're capable of doing that,
Mhm.
right? So this is why it's good to know the people around you, build a relationship with them. 'Cause if you ask
Yeah.
an elephant to climb a tree, they're gonna knock everything over, right?
Right.
So do you tell that
Not that you
particular
comparing people to monkeys and elephants.
I mean,
I was just
You know what?
thinking
I'm
that.
not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Well,
I said the shoe fit.
it's
Huh?
you know what I mean? Because some people can be trained, and some people just knock shit over.
Right. Right.
What are they knocking it over because they can't? Or they don't want to be trained,
Well,
or
they're
they can't be
elephants.
trained, or
Because they're impossible to train.
they're impossible. But I think a lot of
Yeah.
times, I think all of us have the ability to make that turn if we
Mhm.
want to. Some people are so stuck in their ways
Mhm.
that they're unwilling to change.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes and no.
yes and no.
Here's the thing, like everybody has, I mean, we're all the same, but we're different, and everybody has a capability. Now, the ability to apply your capability is going to be determined by your mindset and the thing that you have accessible. Now, here's the thing. An elephant cannot climb a tree, but it can.
But we're talking about people.
Okay, yeah. But if you used to put an elephant on a concrete staircase, it could climb up it, right? So you find people
that you can work with.
You find people and you find ways to make it work.
Their limitations.
And it may be slower. You know what I'm saying?
So watch your circle.
That's what I'm
saying.
There
you go.
So
okay, then.
Take your elephant and put it over.
Guard your circle. Guard your
Exactly.
circle. I see this conversation is kind of taking several different turns here, which I love and I like that. But I'm gonna ask you, are you the same person? I'm going back to it. Are you the same person behind closed doors?
Yeah, I know I could always.
Is there anything that you preach but don't practice as much? When I think of you behind closed doors.
Yeah, I won't chime in on that.
Come on, brother.
Because I was thinking about I got to have another show next week, and we have pastors and preachers going to be on the show and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give up too much right now, but there's a reason that PKs, they say PK children are
some of the
worst,
worst.
the worst kids. You know what I'm saying?
We the worst. Yeah.
And it's because
you're looking at them over there. See that they're on that side of the room.
Oh, you are too?
All y'all. Look, all three of y'all. All three of y'all.
So,
shout out to the PKs.
And I have this theory is because they see daddy as pastor on Sundays one way, and then when he come home behind closed doors, he's another way. And so that's why. What were we talking about?
But I'm actually but see how we do it. The title of the show, do you take your own advice?
Yeah.
So I
When you
asked
say, are you the same?
But there you go. So I'm putting it back on you.
Yeah.
Are you the same person, Brother Carter?
Yes. I
out in the open.
Yes.
That you are behind.
I tend to be who I am.
And I have to agree with you.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
have to
agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Brother Carter is the same person. So I'm going to ask you, Tiffany, are you the same person out in public as you are behind
Brother
closed?
Carter, if he drinking, he gonna say Jesus. If he sober, he gonna say Jesus.
I can agree with you on that, Brother Carter. That's me too.
Yes.
I think I'm more outgoing behind doors. When I say that, I mean like I'm probably
You
talking.
outgoing behind doors? How you get out?
Well, not
behind
outgoing.
Yes, you are. I know what you're saying.
You see what?
Don't let them do that to you. Say it.
How you gonna be out when you're in?
But she out because she's got she's in this bubble by herself.
Yes,
And
thank
so-
you.
Okay, I got you. Come on.
Yes. So when I'm out amongst the
set yourself
public,
up on
I
that
tend
one.
to be not as talkative. I'm a little bit, kind of
Reserved.
Yeah, I'm a lot more reserved. But then I'm at the house and I'm talking to Valerie on the phone. We gonna have a good time.
Yeah, because I hear you. Your ass not your butt can talk.
I do not like it. I'm not calling no more.
So Ricky, I'm gonna ask you. Take some of that.
Going, huh?
Stay out of our business.
Record that whole thing.
Yeah, man. She can go, Jack. Yes,
I can see that. I'll be honest. I'm going to be 100% transparent and honest. I'm going to say no, okay, because I'm a thinker, right? And I sometimes I overanalyze and analyze, and there's a lot of things that is more verbal than action. Right? I'm still the same person. I'm still be the same with everything, right? But there's a lot of things I want to say to people in a not so nice ways that I don't say. But when I get to myself, I'm cussing everybody out.
But that I can agree with.
Okay, but for me, for me,
Take your time with it. Take your time with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I have to say
He's
it.
here said he's a thinker.
Yeah.
And so being a thinker, you can't think when you're talking at the same time. So sometimes you have to get your thoughts together.
Right.
And once you get stuff, I be like that a lot of times.
Yeah,
I be mad because I didn't say something. I'll say, damn, I wish I would have said this.
Ooh, me too.
But it's so easy.
Right.
It's so easy.
I got
Because okay, guys, here's my thought on that. I think you're trying to make it all. And don't get me wrong, you need to be tactful when you say things. You want to clean, but I think you put too much emphasis on still again, not trying to. You're thinking about the other person more so than yourself, even when that person is wiping their feet on your back. You got to. It's okay to say, you know what?
Get your feet off my back.
You done stepped on my toe. That's been sitting here in the same spot,
right?
2-3 times. You don't walk back. Don't do it no more.
Right. So what I've learned to do is when I go behind closed doors and I take the time to analyze my thoughts and I say all the hardcore shit that I really want to say to that person, you know what I mean? I don't wait. So
you go deal with it.
If I know I'm gonna encounter that person again, hey bro, I'm pull you to the side right quick.
You know what I'm saying? That's good. Because you're not letting it just build up because you're gonna explode with it.
Right. And then one thing, being a thinker that helps is I have to judge the person on their ability to receive what I'm about to say. You see what I'm saying? A lot of work. Yeah, because if I know for a fact you can't receive what I'm about to say, we about to fight, and I don't feel like fighting. Or it's gonna be, you gonna
make me do the opposite. I don't even want to talk. If I already know you finna either A, lie about it, or B, you're not gonna be receptive to it at all. I just that's why I walk away. I don't be having time.
But here's the problem: you still holding on to all that. They controlling your emotions.
Yeah, you got to practice that open and closing thing.
We gonna get something. Anna, I need you to jump in on this.
Come on, Anna.
When I hold, if like she just said, she just hold on to it. She just because she know you're gonna lie, or whatever, so she ain't gonna say nothing. Give me your thought on that, Anna.
I think it goes with the mindset, the ego. If you're not saying something, it's because your ego would rather let you, I guess, let the people be comfortable in front of you instead of you being uncomfortable. You kind of get what I mean? Or vice versa.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And then we go back into the closed doors. Like your ego, when you're behind closed doors, is going to be like, oh, I should have said this. Maybe I was in the right moment, the wrong moment. And then when you're in front, like out in front of the people, your ego is going to be telling you, no, maybe I shouldn't say. Or
and all of it. But you still, so when you're not saying anything, Anna,
I'm still holding on to it.
You still holding on to it, or have they dealt with it?
That's when you're closed doors. If you're not dealing it within yourself behind closed doors, then you're not doing really anything at all. Then you're going out there again.
Yeah, you're letting it fester.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere. And then it's fake. So the whole relationship is fake.
Imposter.
Oh, come on now.
There you go.
But so what I've been practicing is, sorry, I'm gonna cut you out. But
no, you ain't sorry. That's what they do around. They just cut you out.
But what I've practiced is something you might want to practice. I think anybody need to practice this, is learning how to open and close at that moment. Open and close the conversation.
Yeah,
right. Like leave it with that person. Don't let the energy cycle back to you. You know what I'm saying? So
good advice.
Yeah. Just open and close that joker. That way you are relieved and they're left with that.
They got to deal with it.
And sometimes they're not gonna receive it.
And if they don't, that's on them. It ain't sitting on you.
Yeah, at least you got it off your chest.
You feel what I'm saying? Because if leaving it on you, you're walking around, you're carrying it. They don't have it. They're fine. They moving on.
Got to make some phone calls.
Do it, baby.
Let's call them right now.
Call them right now while we online.
Nah, I ain't gonna do all that.
But on another note,
I got a piece
on
of my
another
mind
note, I feel where you be coming from. You want to say something to someone, and then it become a back and forth thing, and that's something that you don't want to do. Come on now, I just want to get this off my chest, and here you is coming back to me with something else, and now the next thing we know, we're not even talking about what I start talking about.
Well, because most people they don't have conversations for a solution.
If you're just throwing something out there just for the sake of throwing something out there, and you don't want to have any dialogue, then you gonna have that issue.
Right.
But if you're putting something out,
be prepared to have a conversation.
Yeah, if you just, it's kind of like saying, I said what I said, and that's it. No, you can't just throw something out. Come on, Abigail.
I kind of like how Ricky said that you need to deal with it by yourself first before you. I think everyone kind of said that.
No, I didn't.
I kind of have a rule for myself where I don't bring up problems unless I have a solution in mind, because it's one thing to just bring something up and be like, all right, now deal with that. That's not fair to the other person either.
Well, let me just say this here. If we've had this encounter more than one time, this is your behavior every time you come into my presence or in a situation, we need to deal with this, because it's making me and others around you very uncomfortable, and you can't just keep coming into a situation. And I can't keep giving you a pass.
Of course,
So-
yeah. I think initially, though, whenever you're addressing any sort of like issue you may have with somebody, you know, I think also perspective matters. That person might not know that they did something wrong. And so if you're just coming at them like, well, you did this XYZ and I'm mad
That's
at you.
true.
And they have no idea.
They have no idea that they even
Well,
did something wrong.
That was
How
on the
to fix
first
it.
time.
Yeah, on the
Yeah,
first
but no.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Second
Anything
time,
after
you
that-
knew. We're going to have a conversation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I said, first time, shame on you.
Mhm.
Second time, shame on them. Third time, I'm about to whip that.
No, I just really think that we do a disservice to the very people that we love
Right.
when we don't address issues.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's all about how we address it 100%. You know, you can't go to someone here and they're there and expect them to understand why you're there.
Mhm.
At the same time, that person can't expect you to just keep overlooking this inappropriate behavior
Mhm.
or this inability to have a conversation about
Mhm.
something. They just want you to just, I'm telling you what I said and we ain't talking about it.
Right.
No, that don't
Mhm.
work
Yeah,
like
but see,
that.
most people are not most people who stay in those situations where they don't, resolve.
Mhm.
They're used to and they've been trained and programmed with trauma and conflict.
Mm.
So they're comfortable with staying in a situation and not saying nothing and suppressing all their energy and holding it until something bad happens. And now it's like,
Mhm.
I've been
Right.
feeling this way. You're
Yes.
programmed,
Yes.
talk about therapy and everything that happens at the child and stuff like that. But if your mind is programmed to receive drama and trauma and stress, you'll never know how to address it.
Right.
And then it takes a person who wants
Or
to
communicate.
communicate,
Right.
like,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you've never
Mhm.
been taught how to properly communicate,
Yeah.
especially if you're in an environment where everybody's like, yeah.
And then they want you to accept and deal with it the same way
Yeah.
that they deal with, which is an unhealthy way to
Right.
deal with it. You
Yeah.
can't expect. It's kind of like me sitting in the office, and do you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And someone is speaking to Tiffany in a way that I can keep coming up and defending you, but at some point you have to defend yourself,
Mhm.
because until you stand up for yourself, you've trained them how to treat you,
Teach people how to
and they're not going to do it any different. But when you push back on that situation, I was like a proud mama.
Mhm.
Oh, I said that. I knew it was in you.
She put
And
her
then
foot
she,
down?
yes, she
Yeah.
did. And she got a different response.
Sure
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, immediately.
Now I got Valerie scared. Like, wait,
I was like, wait a minute.
not too much.
Go back and
unleash the beast, huh?
But see, for real, that's the dangers of letting stuff build up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you get to the point where it's like, okay, I didn't let you do this for this long.
Mhm.
Now, when I'm finally ready to talk, I'm finna do more than talk to you.
Mhm.
It's finna go to the next level. But I'm staying grounded.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
She
staying
got
So
them
you're
feet.
learning
Like
how
it's
to give
feet.
yourself some grace now.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
'Cause it always giving other folks grace outside of
People that don't even deserve it.
don't
okay?
even deserve it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
Ooh,
Need
let's start right
Flat
there.
blast.
Yeah, like people coming to work sick.
Mhm.
Go home.
Go home.
I want to be
Yeah.
healthy for my
Right,
family.
right.
I'm not bringing that crap home to my mother and my family. Go
Right.
home. You sick, stay home.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
She felt that one, y'all.
Okay.
We got personal real
Hey
quick.
guys, I hope you guys are enjoying. If you have any questions for us, we done already got to the clock on the wall. We are gonna take questions and answers, and we're gonna kind of try and read. Y'all have anything, Abigail, that you want to bring in here? Q&A time. Go ahead.
There's a couple questions that we got earlier in the show, so we'll bring those up right now. Guillermo Watson said, there it is. Have you ever regretted giving someone else advice?
I did when they didn't use it.
You regret it?
I did.
So you didn't use it?
I did. You asked I did because you took.
Waste of breath.
Let me tell you something. You came to me with this sob story. You came to me that you wanted change. I sat there, I engaged, I listened to you cry, all of that.
Mhm.
And it wasn't one time that you came. You came
Mhm.
several times. And I'm not looking at Tiffany, not on this time anyway. But and then you didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Right.
Yes, I regretted that
Yeah.
because it was taking from me,
Exactly.
and to the point that now I don't even want to be in your presence because we got to talk about it again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But I'm
Yeah.
sure they regret not taking it too after they realize.
I don't know. They didn't come back and tell me.
I kind of have a question actually
Yeah.
for you guys. how do you feel about unsolicited advice? Receiving it,
stand it.
giving it.
I mean,
Y'all
If I
stand
didn't
on
ask for it, I don't need it.
Me, don't do it.
No. I didn't ask you for help on this. I don't need you speaking on it.
Exactly.
I guess for me, and I get this a lot. Even as a life coach and everything I do, it has to be coming from a qualified person.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You can't just be some average Joe. Like, I see you doing this and it's wrong. Bro, I ain't asked you not one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's coming from somebody who I respect and you see me failing and lacking in an area, then it's like, yeah. So I would take advice from her, business-wise, stuff like that. But you can't be a bum on the street, be like, hey, you should do this. I'm like, well, I kind of would take your advice. I'm not going to do what you did. But,
there you go.
It just depends on who it's coming from and what your intentions are. But if it's to bash me, shame me,
no, you can take that on down the street.
Exactly.
I think I've
Go
given
kick rocks.
Yeah.
I think I'm guilty of giving unsolicited advice, but
That's why you asked the question.
yeah. I tend to do it because I'm the type of person people come to me to vent, to get like things off their chest. So if someone's constantly coming to me with a problem, even if they're not asking my advice, at some point I'd be like, you're clearly telling me this because you're going through something and I don't want to hear it anymore. So I'm going to tell you what to do so that you can stop.
But I don't think that's unsolicited advice. If they keep coming to you, they need to give you need to give them just what
that sounds like the segment.
Right?
Yeah.
That sounds like the segment that already passed. They need to cut the crap on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cut the crap.
Yes.
That's why I became a life coach, because people used to do it all the time. I'm like, you know what?
should
There's a market for this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Next one.
So the next question we have is from Austin Nathan.
Hey, Austin.
He said, how often do we take our own advice?
As much as you want results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want results, then
take
your own advice. But also, when you're taking your own advice, make sure it's sound. Because sometimes we get in our head and we think we know it all, and it's not qualified. It's just what we've been going with for this long. So make sure it's sound.
Well, I think a lot of people out there, a lot of us out there, do not take our own advice. A lot of us out there, we drink too much, we eat too much, we doing all the things that we don't need to do, but we had the answers to the questions inside of us, and we won't listen to ourselves. and you telling yourself the same thing all the time. I don't need to eat all of this. I don't need to drink all this. And so you don't listen to your own advice, and then the outcome become what you see.
Overweight.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So we need to listen. We need to listen to our inner person.
Yes. Okay.
That's it for questions, but we actually had a good comment from Darnell Harper. He said, now, if we talk about advice, if I give you advice, that means I've never applied that on my life.
I'm confused.
Say that again.
Donnell, break that down for me, because if you're giving me advice, I would hope.
I would hope that you've
done it, because
you're gonna make me the
then you're just talking. So if you're out there trying to give advice, advice is supposed to be something that's tried and tested.
Right.
So if you're giving advice and it means you haven't applied it.
Well, no, actually, so
help me out.
Anybody can give advice, because I
don't mean it's good advice.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, like, knowing is different than doing, because I can Google anything and AI anything and get the information, and I know it.
Okay? But have I applied?
I can know it and then give it to you. I can translate it to you and tell you exactly what I know, what I learned, all this,
what I read.
Yeah, exactly. But have I experienced it and applied it? That's where I'm like, I need to know if you actually did it. So if you didn't do it, please don't tell me.
Yeah.
Even like parenting advice. I think, we online, you see a bunch of people do their like mommy blogs and stuff like that. So someone like me who doesn't have any kids might be like, well, you should do this. But you're not going to listen to me. I don't got any kids.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You think,
exactly.
You think you have a leg to stand on because you've like read something or seen something online. But I think I do agree with you, Miss Carter, that it does have to be like tried and tested before you go spewing out things you don't know about.
That's like someone telling me I can't have brunch at cocktail.
I don't know where that's going, but
somebody said, well, you don't know where that's going, baby.
no.
You ain't seen slide that over there. You can have it. Just do it in moderation.
I didn't say nothing that you can't have it.
I didn't say you did, baby.
Oh, that's I was talking and you slid to drink away from yourself. Okay.
That's
hilarious.
I love this show.
That don't mean you can't drink. I tell you, but just we have answers to all questions inside of us. And if we just listen to our own self, that inner person, should I say,
Yes.
we'll be a lot better person, should I say.
I think we'll be better for ourselves as well as others. I think a lot of time. Go ahead. Final thought. I don't want to do final thoughts. I don't want to leave. And, there go Coach Bree. I've been waiting on you, Coach Bree. Give me some. What she said there.
Why do you think people ask for advice and do not take it?
Because they like to be entertained with the thought of doing something.
Coach Bree.
Yeah, they like the thought of doing something versus actually doing it. You know, it's that whole dopamine release.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna do this. That's why I say motivation is bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be motivated all doggone day, but if you don't apply things, you know what I'm saying, then motivation, it's like it's starting a car. You know what I mean? You need a small spark plug to start a car, right? But you need the oil, you need the gas, you need the constant maintenance to keep it going over and over and over.
Wow.
So motivation is like, yeah, let's go. You're like, yeah. The next day, you know, I'm not motivated.
Why did I
back
do
to that ingredient I was talking about, discipline.
That's what discipline. Discipline is more important than motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think many of us know like what to do, right? And that's kind of where discipline comes in. But like I kind of like what you said, because how many times have you woken up at 3 a.m. and you're like, I'm gonna get my life together.
Yeah.
And you like you make to-do lists. You're like, I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the gym. And then that alarm clock goes off and you're like, I'm actually going to sleep and go to the McDonald's drive-thru.
That's why people pay me. You're going to pay me for this advice and information to hold you accountable.
I know that's right. Coach Bree, that was a great question, but now I want you to answer that same question you put up there for us. Come on, Coach Bree. Why do you think people ask for advice and not take it? Coach Bree, please tell us. Come on, Tiffany.
I was going to say some of it is I feel like sometimes people just want attention too.
Ooh.
Like, and I mean, sometimes, not overcomplicating it. They really just want attention. They like enjoying talking about their problems. So people kind of have a woe is me moment. And just so they can pour into, trauma dump on people all the day.
Trauma dump.
Trauma dump, huh?
Oh,
I think sometimes.
Who is that right there? What you call her right there?
Upstairs.
That's profound.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's great.
Trauma
Yeah.
dump.
What were you getting ready to say?
That I think sometimes people just have to go through their lesson when they don't take the advice. They're asking for a reason to know what are their other options, but sometimes they don't take it because they need to go through not taking the advice.
But are they really
going through the
asking
lesson.
questions because they want the answer, or are they asking to be heard?
I think a lot of people don't mean to cut you off there. A lot of people just like
It's
to
not
hear
okay.
themselves
Talk.
They like to hear themselves just talk.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And like I'm putting myself on an example because I've asked for advice that I needed to hear, but I didn't apply it in my life.
But why?
Because I was being in my ego, and I was like, let me just keep trying to see if I see a different result.
But what did you do to get a different result?
I got the different result when I actually applied the advice.
Come on now.
Mhm, there you go.
So
That's where I was trying to get you to go to.
I asked the advice. I didn't take it the first time. I didn't apply. I was like festering it in my head. And then when the lesson happened, I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to take the advice and I'm going to apply it, and results changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. If you want, oh Lord, what is Coach Bree over here? She came back with something. What she say?
Oh, she's saying that she missed how you asked her for the answer.
She missed the question that you asked her.
The question you
Her
gave.
same question.
Okay, go ahead and let's give it back to her.
Yeah, Coach Bree. Coach Bree, we're asking you to answer your own question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think people ask for advice and not take it?
Come on, Coach Bree, come back with it.
In closing.
Before we close, Brother Carter.
I have an announcement before.
Before we're not there yet, because I want Coach Bree. She only
know.
come on, Coach Bree. She came back with it.
I didn't want us to sit here just silently
we're
waiting
not gonna
on
be.
it. Okay.
She's asking another question. Actually, are you offended when you give advice and people don't take it?
Miss Carter.
Yeah, she said that. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't waste my time. You know, if you ask, if I don't know the answer, I will tell you, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. Now, because I'm not going to just talk to you for the sake of talking. But if I'm pouring into you, you've come to me, so obviously you trust me, or you should anyway. And if I'm pouring into you based off of my knowledge or my experience with it, and you don't take it, I'm not your sponge to keep coming back to anymore.
You got a lot of people in your life that likes to just dump on you, you know, and wow. And I wish I could help you in that area. You've gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah, honey. Like, I used to have
gotten a lot. Gotten a lot better.
Oh baby, because they can go.
You just used to be like a dumping ground.
Oh, that was me.
Problems and troubles and stuff like that.
I really was that person, and that person, that garbage can that I allowed people to make me be, really had me in a very unhealthy, unhappy, just a bad place. And so I am. The person I am today is the person that literally said, I care. If you come to me, I got you. But don't come back with that same thing.
Exactly.
You're not going to be nobody's land.
I'm not your land.
Coming back
those are the leeches.
report. Don't tell me about it.
Say that again.
Those are the leeches.
Yes, literally.
This is how I'm gonna tell you how I got to get this to y'all, because this is what I started doing to get rid of people.
Come on now. Come on now.
This joker, man.
Because start vacuuming the floor and stuff in front of them.
Turn the music up.
Yes.
What do you say? No, but making people hold their own self accountable, right? Because sometimes we like to listen to people talk, or when they want to hear our advice, and we talk to them. We care. We want to give them something, right? So here's what I started doing. Even in coaching class, I started doing this. So whatever you come to me for advice for, write that thing down. Let's get a solution right then and there. It takes 10 minutes to find a solution for one thing. I promise you, 10 minutes. Find a solution for that thing. When you come back to me, I need you to bring that sheet of paper, a text message, and say, did you do that thing that was on that sheet of paper? And if you didn't do it, don't talk to me about nothing else.
Wow. Because we can't move forward. We can't move forward.
So when you come back with something, nope.
Let's deal with that first. Let's deal with that.
Don't talk to me.
If we could, Coach Bree came back, if we can read her comment, and then we're going to do final thoughts.
That was the question she asked.
Oh, she said, no, she said, now, are you offended? Oh,
Yeah.
She did. I answer that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Bree, don't be trying to.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. No, I'm not offended.
Coach Bree gonna be on the show here.
I can't wait. I want y'all to know she is coming in here, and it's gonna be hot. I can't wait to see her. Okay, final thoughts. This has been a fantastic show.
Before we do anything, we're going to say happy birthday to Abigail over there. Her birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday!
I don't see her on the screen. There she is. Yes, tomorrow is her birthday.
I'm turning the big 2-5.
2-5. Oh my God. Wow. Happy birthday, Abigail. Y'all show Abigail some love out there. Give her a shout out.
Thank you,
Right.
Scorpio in me.
And she has something else she wants to say.
Yes, I want to touch on the bowling event one more time. So we have a QR code for you guys to scan to purchase tickets to our bowling event. It's taking place on, I already forgot.
December 3rd.
December 3rd. On December 3rd. You can purchase tickets. They are $35 a piece. And that all is going to go towards the toy drive.
That's your shoes. That's the lane. That's the food. That's the unlimited drinks. All of the fun included. When I tell you it's going to be fun.
And you get to hang out with us.
And you get to hang out with
every
us.
penny.
And so even if you can and you want to sponsor someone to come on in here, get that ticket. Get that ticket.
And don't let the event that took place in Maine keep you from coming to the bowling alley too soon.
Way too soon, brother.
Too soon.
Way too soon.
No, he didn't mean it like that. What he was just saying, please come out and support. They're showing you love, Abigail out here. Also on fight. Excuse me.
Coach Bree came back too. But
what did she say? Go ahead.
She said, to answer the question, some people are just not ready for the advice given. We are in different stages, so they may not be ready to receive the advice. She also said, on the other hand, some people are emotional vampires and just enjoy sucking the life out of people. They don't need or want your advice. They need your time and energy.
And you have to choose,
attention.
and you have to choose whether or not that time and energy is available to give.
So. And since I brought up that the bowling thing, now this is appropriate that we take a moment of silence.
Yes.
And for all the people that were, because we don't want to make light of anything.
Yes.
People being killed.
Well, we really got to do something with this gun. These
Yeah.
guns.
And,
we got to. It's just really it's just out of hand. There is no reason we cannot get some type of gun law bans on. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to say what you can and cannot do. But the one thing I do think we need to talk about is these AK-47s. Why would any individual, don't say you're using it to hunt, because whatever you shoot with that, it's not even worth. It's just it's tore up.
Okay, but back to that. I know you want to put that plug in about guns, but we're not talking about guns right now. We're just talking about people that was just brutally murdered and killed for no reason at all. And we going to the bowling alley here, and this is the most recent event that happened. So I want to make sure that the people don't get deterred about coming to the bowling alley or anywhere else, because anything can happen anywhere these days.
Right.
And so we want to keep them. And I do want to just take a moment just to reflect on that, and in a moment of silence just for those people that were affected.
Lost their lives.
Yes.
Righty then. Okay, we're going to
final thoughts.
And I am going to start with Ricky. Your thoughts on the day's show, who you are, and your feelings for the show.
Oh man, yeah. As always, I'm honored to be here. I'm thrilled to see everything that you have going on. It just excites me. It motivates and makes me want to do more and better for myself. So I applaud you and I love you very much.
Thank you.
And my thought for today is, I didn't even know anything about happened, but it was on my mind no matter what. It's like, stop acting like you have forever to live and putting things off unnecessarily. This whole like not saying how you really feel, not communicating, like you act like you're gonna be here forever. No, start making changes now. So today. And you can find me on anywhere on social media we can get with Junior, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place.
Ricky Getwood Jr.
That's the junior boy right there. He doing a lot of things. You do anything more, man? I don't know if you have time for yourself.
I'm trying to lose myself and find myself at the same time.
I know that's right. And Tiffany.
Yes, this episode was actually right on time for me. Every time I come, it always is. But it really, really is, like, far as communication and making sure you're not afraid to communicate, or just always running from things. So I really, really enjoyed this segment. I'm definitely going to take back even this week and apply it, far as starting a conversation and closing those feelings out in that conversation and not taking it back with me. So I thank you guys so much for inviting me.
I tell you.
Free game.
All right.
Yes.
And of course, thank you for having you on the show. And how can they find you?
It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, yes, it's always a pleasure to be here. But on Facebook, my name is Tiffany L. Washington. And then on Instagram, it's t.lynette89.
All righty then. Brother Carter, final thoughts.
Wow, final thoughts. Let us that don't like to argue and have debates, let's stop giving other folks grace outside of ourselves. Let's start giving ourselves grace and start speaking up for ourselves.
Come on, advocate for yourself.
Yeah, advocate. I like that. I like that. Advocate for yourself. And another thing y'all give Abigail some shout outs.
They've been doing it.
I want everybody to say happy birthday to Abigail.
They saying it.
Yeah.
They are.
I just got to say,
Thank
Brother
you,
Carter
everybody.
used the 2 words that I actually say to my kids. I say, I don't like to argue and I don't want to debate. I got to work on that. I need to work on that.
Well, you don't have to argue, and it doesn't have to be a debate. Just have a conversation.
Okay.
Or kick them out.
Yeah.
I think healthy conflict is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is too.
It takes y'all to the next level in any relationship.
But see, I'm a person that don't like to be questioned. And so when you question me, that already automatically gonna turn into an argument.
I need somebody in that can help him on that piece because see that do you take your own advice because you don't know it all, and so you can if
I
you don't
like to be questioned.
Well, that's something you got to go back to your childhood to find out what that's all about. Am I right? What's something going on that little Lawrence? Huh? It's the reason he liked that, Anna. Would you say?
Yes, there's a reason.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a reason.
Well, he was as a child, he probably couldn't express how he felt or something. What is it?
It could be that one.
Or it could be what?
No, it has a lot.
I don't know. It
Well,
has
I know.
to
I
do
know.
Okay, what is
I
it?
used to have the same problem.
What does that come from?
Well, it comes from not being able to vocalize how you feel, and then never having enough to stand on for yourself. You know what I mean? And then somebody, every time you do something, somebody pushing you back, right? So when you come out, he's like, I'm doing this thing for me, and you're making me feel like I can't do it. So when I put my word out there, don't question me when I'm doing it.
Y'all need to work on that.
It's a done deal.
But this is how I heal myself. Right?
How did you heal yourself?
I heal myself by number one, checking myself. I think 3 moves ahead. That's I'm thinking like chess. If I understand what's not going to happen, what may happen, and the worst case scenario, right? And that's how I'm gonna respond in each situation. So I already know there's going to be some type of kickback, no matter what. Yeah. So then I start thinking like, how am I going to respond if that person asks me that question? Yeah. And if I know I'm gonna be triggered, it's like, why am I triggered? Yeah. That's when like the meditation and everything comes in. It's like, why does that bother me so much? And once I figure out why it bothers me, then I have to communicate that to that person. That hey, look, if you say this, this is what's going to bother me. I need you to understand. So when I kick back, this is why. Can you help me? Yeah. If you can't help me, let's not have this conversation.
Yeah, but we're gonna work on that. Yeah, we're gonna work on that. I recognize there's an issue there. Yeah, and I verbalized it already. Yeah. So that's the beginning.
That's the first step.
Only the first step.
Well, I want to say this was a fantastic show. Just sitting in here, you guys, y'all kept the vibe up. It was difficult going to bed at 5 this morning and then back up at 6 o'clock this morning. And what a fantastic show. That's how committed we are to you guys out here and just committed to the show. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your love. And until next Saturday, we'll see you. Happy birthday, Abigail. Bye.